because it went from slaves to just having slave labor. So it took you a little while to decide to let us go. Yeah. So you basically gave us slavery back with Jim Crow and everything else after Reconstruction. Yeah, you did. The chain gangs. Y'all were arresting people for any and everything and putting them back into the fields. You did. So here's the question we have to ask ourselves. Do we want museums to be cheerleaders of a sanitized national story? Or do we want them to be honest custodians of history, warts and all? Because when we lose control of our history, we lose control of our democracy. That's where we are today. That's where we are today on that part. So, that's where we are today. So I just want you to listen to what kind of started this whole thing. I don't know if it started or not, but what kind of spurred it is Abby Foster. Abby Phillip has a show that I love, a roundtable show. Sometimes I love it, sometimes I don't like it. And she had Jillian Michaels. She was from The Biggest Loser. She was one of the coaches. I never liked her when she was on there, so now I know why. Now she's a MAGA podcaster and loyalist. And she's got some interesting statistics on what she thinks about slavery. Is basically she's saying that it wasn't enough people that owned slavery for us to be a big deal in this country. I was like, that got me pissed off very quickly. So listen to this video from Abby, and we'll come back.
White people don't care.
All right, let me go to this one.
Jillian Michaels, the former star of The Biggest Loser and now a MAGA influencer, was on Newsnight last week, and we were having a discussion on the show about Trump's attempts to influence parts of American culture, like the Smithsonian, like the Kennedy Center, and the arts, when suddenly the conversation turned to slavery and race. And Jillian argued that everything in the culture has become now about race.
He's not whitewashing slavery. So
he's not?
He's not. No,
okay.
he's not. And you cannot tie imperialism and racism and slavery to just one race, which is pretty much what every single exhibit does.
Then what really shocked all of us at the table was that she seemed to try to be minimizing the impact of racism and slavery on American history.
Do you realize that only less than 2% of white Americans owned slaves?
But it was a system of white supremacy.
You realize that slavery is thousands of years old?
White people were
Do you know
the slave
who
owners.
was the first race to try to end slavery?
That's an incredibly misleading statistic, because even the Americans who did not own slaves also participated in slavery by benefiting from the economic system of slavery, the political system of slavery, and culturally treating black people as if they were not human. But Jillian didn't acknowledge any of those things, and that, I think, is really what shocked so many of us at the table. Since then, she's doubled down, and she's even said that she had reached out to the White House before coming on the show to ask them about which Smithsonian exhibits they wanted to dispute. She acknowledged that none of the talking points provided by the White House, according to her, had to do with slavery, and yet she still decided to downplay it at the Newsnight table. Fast forward a couple of days later, and now President Trump is actually also downplaying slavery, suggesting that the Smithsonian talks about it too much and overemphasizes the negative of slavery in the context of American history. Here's the truth. Slavery in the United States was about race. It was about white supremacy, and it was really, really bad. Now, Jillian, like many other voters, is entitled to her opinion. She's just not entitled to her own facts.
So, yeah, Jillian, she was the one that I saw this live. And when she said that, do you know there's only 2% of people that own slaves? You know what? I don't care how many own them. You got the benefits of it. The whole system, whether you owned it or not. Rich people own slaves. If you didn't have one, too bad you didn't have one. But you still treated them like they were slaves. You benefited from the whole system. The whole system